Welcome to EuroC Sucks, the weekly podcast where we review and critique the best and the worst fan-created original characters from the My Little Pony fandom. This show is unscripted and unfiltered, so moderate language will be used. As well, this show can be a little heavy on the critique at times. That being said, if you are easily offended, don't watch. If not, feel free to join us for this week's show. This is episode 54 from March 20th, 2015. This week, we have a shining example of royalty in the Brony fandom joining us this week. My name is Mummified Thunderbirds. I am the host and show manager. I am joined by...
I'm Eddie Bobo. I'm in charge of gathering questions and viewer interaction.
And I'm Smooth Sailing, and I'm the editor.
And a little bit more right now about that special guest we have. She is a noted animator within the Brony community. She's worked with Kakashi Panda and a bunch of other voice actors, as well as also Pika, and she's had air of mystery about her until recently actually saying who she is and whatnot. And I believe that she came off the top of my head to figure out, and she is just the absolute wonderful royalty of the animation community. Our special guest this week is Crowne Prince.
And I'm here because my OC sucks.
That's the end of the show!
Alright, bye guys. Click.
Done.
No, I wouldn't say your OC is bad.
No, I'm just joking.
Hey, I love black outlines.
Actually, we're going 2 weeks in a row with two special guests in a row who have had black outlines. And I'm like,
yes.
It's because we had KP last week and now we have you. And it's very interesting how, like, okay, what's the outline color? Oh, it's black. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess. Sure.
Well, technically, it's not black if you were doing show style, but I don't draw in show style very often, so...
So we'd like to talk a little bit to the special guests about their OCs and what they kind of mean. Now, just to start off, does your character have any sort of a story, or is it pretty much just an avatar to which to represent yourself into the internet?
So my character is an odd combination of both. In terms of show canon, I'm still sort of figuring this out. But she's evil, so we'll put it that way.
Really?
Yeah, she lives out in the Badlands, has a history of messing with people, and so the most notable thing about the character is sort of this flipped gender identity. It's the same character. They're not two separate characters. She just dresses up a little bit different with the mane and putting the eyelashes away and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And goes out and commits mischievous deeds, evil crimes, whatever.
Drops
as
apples
a
on
guy. Yeah, as a guy, but and then in regular life is just sort of this girl. So that's the story behind that character a little bit. There's a lot more to it, but I'm sort of revealing it over time. So, and
we definitely have had those little peeks into Crowne Prince, the character's like lifestyle. By the way, is the OC still Crowne Prince, or
yes?
Okay. So I just want to make sure, because sometimes it's like, no, they're applesauce or something. So I'm like, what? Really? Okay, cool. You allude to those kind of little bits of story, like in the give and take little interruption video. It's like somewhere in the Badlands, yes. Or it's a great idea, and I really like the setting and everything that you set up for the background as well. And I really hope to hear more from it. I'm not going to push you to reveal too much unless you want to, but when you do reveal it, I'll probably love it.
Yeah, so I'm working on it. I've been working for a long time on this personal project, but because I've been getting commissioned and been very busy working on other people's projects, I haven't had any time to do more of the backstory.
Joining a bunch of assholes podcast.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, but she does not have a cutie mark.
Oh, yeah.
And that's intentional. So, we'll talk a little bit about the fact that she's an earth pony, no cutie mark. It's intentional. So, I was thinking at first she was a pony, but now I'm thinking she may actually be a horse, which would be why there is no cutie mark. Except, yeah, I had the intention of there not being a cutie mark because she doesn't have a special talent, because forget that, who cares? Yeah. So, I just like the horse idea.
Well, then...
That's not
Now, when you
not
say
too
horse,
important,
Do
no.
you mean like saddle Arabian horses?
No. Well, yeah. So, if I talked more, I would be revealing, I think, too much. And but it's a sort of really detailed, little detail thing that some people may never ever get. But the character actually goes beyond the MLP verse, so it can shift from one universe to the other, basically.
So it's complicated, is what you're saying.
It's complicated, yeah, because I want to be able to use the character in I have this other world where I have characters called Sin Wolf, and it's about wolves, and I want that character to be able to go back and forth between whatever it is that I'm working on. So it's complicated.
Well, then we won't pry anymore. We'll just let it be and look to the future where you put out more information on that. Moving on to actual OCs that people have sent into the show, though, would you like to go first or be put into random fate?
Let's do the die.
Let's do the die, then. All right. Oh, guess what? It rolled a 2. And since you're filling in for Commander this week, that means you get to go first.
Oh, no!
Oh, man!
All right.
Oh, no.
All right, so show us what you got.
All right, so the pony I brought to the show today, her name is Arana. I had to look up how to pronounce that. It's actually the name of a tropical fish, which makes complete sense when you consider the character. So, basis for the character. You think about Equestria, you have the whole land of Equestria. Well, far, far, far away from that are a group of 3 cloud islands that the author has invented called the Galapagos Islands. So based off of the Galapagos Islands. And on these islands, these cloud islands, there's a separate, I guess you could say it's a race of Pegasi, because they're quite different from the Pegasi that you would find in Equestria, since they've adapted to their local environment. Their feathers have sort of coating to protect them from the water, and they have a whole separate culture. They've never seen ground, trees, or any of that sort of thing, because they just live in these clouds. So, how do I get into the character here?
It's difficult.
It's just, there's just so much that I love about this character. So, let's talk about the culture of this place first. So, because it's so different, the ponies have a very simple lifestyle. All the talents revolve around either fishing, because these ponies actually eat fish, since they can't grow food, there's nothing else. So they've adapted to eat fish. So some of the other talents, music, building, cloud buildings to live in. And what happened? So the character, as she was on this island, confident, very happy, has a special sun pony, and they're engaged to each other. Well, at the time, she and her friends had been playing this game of storm chicken. Because there are these big storms that sort of shoot out from the cloud volcano that's on the island and creates big thunderstorms. And sometimes they hit Equestria, sometimes not. Well, so they're playing storm chicken. She gets caught up in one of these storms and dragged all the way over to Equestria. And it's so far, she's basically stuck there. And what I love is that the author for this character describes how it changes their personality. She can't speak the language. She's never seen dirt. There's ponies there that have horns, and there's ponies that don't have wings, and the culture is completely different. So her personality when she's in Equestria is a little bit, she's quieter, she's more thoughtful and serious than she would have been back home. And so, yeah, that's just, in terms of design, because when I was picking out characters for today, I looked both at the design of the pony and also of the story. So I'm looking for good characters, not just good designs. But you can look at it and it stands out in a way that I've never seen really any other character do, and fits the show style so well. So it's got like these coordinated colors, like a very unique hairstyle, and these very different eyes. The shape of the eyes is just really stands out. I had actually picked out a different character for today, but when I was going through the gallery, I saw this one, and it stands out. It's just very, very well done.
Yeah. It's really nice. I really when I saw that you picked this one in our conversation beforehand, I looked at it. I'm like, wait a minute, is that in ours? And I was like, yeah, it totally is.
Like just submitted.
Yes, that's half the reason why I miss it. Special guests always are a great thing because you guys add a new pair of eyes. So even though we may go over the same pony a bunch of times, special guests are always like, "Hey, what about this one?" Oh yeah, I really like it.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? The other thing, because what I want to do today when we're talking about these different OCs, I'll have to pull up pictures of the other ones so I can see them. In terms of animating them, since that's what I do is I animate. So this one, the thing about it is it would be a little bit of a pain to animate because of how the hair is so different. And it's got, these little feathers and sort of these different, she's got an earring that represents her engagement to the other pony. He's got one like that too. And she has a necklace made out of mane and tail hair from her sweetheart, which is sort of another cultural thing. It just gets me. It's so well put together. You could see so much possibility there for so other stories.
World building here. It's really
nice. Yes, it's really nice. But with the design, so animating it would be a pain, but it would be worth it because it's such a unique character and it just has there's a lot of interest there. There's a lot you could do with it. If Twilight found out about this, she'd be really interested in learning about these islands.
Yeah.
So, it's just, there's a lot of possibility, and I really have nothing, now I have no problems with this character.
I love her cutie mark. It's, not a lot of cutie marks can be so simple yet so good. Because this may look like too many colors, but sure, it's only 3 colors. They're just repeated multiple times, and I love that. That's so nice. Not many people just... Oh, I love it.
And it goes in with the feathers in her hair.
Oh, yeah, it definitely fits because the blue of her hair, the red of her feathers, and the yellow of her feathers. And she keeps a nice set of colors, and it stays, and it's I love it.
Yeah, and you can look at it and tell that she's not from Equestria. You could just... Everything about it. It's like Zecora, right? So
Yeah.
We've only seen one zebra in the show. And Zecora really stands out. Arana is a character like that.
Just because of the mass cultural difference.
Yeah.
I like it.
She doesn't need something obvious like stripes to set her apart. She herself is very different because of not only the braids and the feathers and the fish and everything. I like on the character sheet, I guess we could call this a character sheet. I probably would anyway, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I like how they've included the Galapagos Islands and also their little map. How it's a little blotch of blue, but then if you look closer at it, it almost looks like you're looking extremely high up and the clouds have opened up to reveal the land below it. I really like that fact, how it looks like it's a hole in the clouds.
Also,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Also, a storm volcano is the most metal thing ever.
It's so sick.
It's great, isn't it? Oh, I would love to design that environment. I mean, this is a type of character which it'd take extra work, but it would be so worth it for me.
Yeah. There's a lot of new things with this character, and that introduces a lot of new concepts and whatnot, like the idea of a far-off island, cloud volcanoes, ponies actually adapting to eat meat, or I guess fish, and a lot of things, but it doesn't ever feel like this character is overloaded or there's too much going on with this character. It all seems like there's this world that's built. She fits in this world. This is who she is, and this is what's going on. A lot of characters seem to try to be like, oh, she does this, and then she does this, she does this, she does this. Well,
there's your issue right there, is that it's only she does this. The thing that works here is that she is from a culture of ponies that all do this.
Yeah. So we're not overloading her, but we're not necessarily overloading the world, but making this awesome world that you could possibly create a bunch of characters from. I like that a lot.
And then displacing that character and putting them in an entirely different situation And, right, so she doesn't have this reaction like, oh, she's amazing, she's from this other place, and she's so great. It's just, she's, like, very toned down, like you would be. You're trying to learn from your environment. And there's just the consideration, that level of consideration is very interesting. The other thing you might see with someone who's less, I guess, experienced with writing stories is you would see that maybe she would show up in Equestrian, fall in love with somebody, but no, she already has a special sun pony. So that just makes it very interesting.
Well then, since that is about it, thank you, Crown Prince, for bringing that on, opening our eyes to this pony, illuminating this pony to our weird collection of a fan base. But in the meantime, we will roll the die of fate. It'll roll to 2 again. It rolled 1. So, looks like I have to follow that up. This is Midnight Sketch. Midnight Sketch is a mare. She is a Pegasus. She has a crescent moon with a pencil and drawing a black star for her cutie mark. A little cliche with the crescent moon, but we'll get into that.
With the pencil.
Also with the pencil a little bit, but moving on. Her talent may be a shocker for some people, but she draws and creates, and she mostly gets her inspirations to draw at night. Her occupation is a local artist in Ponyville. She likes animals, drawings, nighttime, the season of autumn, cookies, and water. I hope she likes water. She's got a drink. Dislikes annoying ponies and selfishness. Who doesn't, really? She fears loud noises, cages, small spaces, fire, and being alone. It says that her other positive characteristics is that she is friendly to everyone, generous, playful, sometimes teasing her friends or messing with them. Negative characteristics is she tends to be clumsy, sometimes she's a jerk to others without knowing it. Now, that sounds all kind of sort of cliche. Like, everybody seems to want to make a pony that is very friendly, nice. Not a lot of people want to make an asshole of a character just because, I don't know, people like to be positive. But it says that
an asshole doesn't mean you're not positive.
Well, that's always possible. The creator, Midnight Sketch, is in the middle of actually building this character, and there's more info to be added later. She's kind of your typical artist pony, quiet but kind but quiet, has trouble making friends, but when she does, she's extremely loyal to them and often worries that they'll leave her alone. She generally is shy and somewhat isolated. This also may affect her socially. She fears most things and getting startled easily, but she is honest worker, and if a friend needs help, she'll be there. She can be found often sitting in a tree drawing or just in her own world thinking. So this pony is an artist and sort of wrapped up in her own art, so to speak, and like in her mind, so she doesn't, get out that much.
Antisocial artist? No way!
But,
no way!
But
Whoa.
is very loyal, so that's always like the other side of that. It's like, okay, they're not totally outgoing, but they're friendly to a fault. I feel like that's a very safe backstory, and
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing that's too dangerous that would make your character seem a little bit too Mary Sue-ish. But it's also very, like I said, plain spaghetti.
It's pretty standard. I don't know about spaghetti. It's just very standard. It's just like
I don't.
No,
think spaghetti
it's like cooking yourself some spaghetti and then not putting the Parmesan cheese on it.
Oh, it's just plain spaghetti. I get
just,
it. I get
it's
it.
just plain
Yeah.
spaghetti.
It is. It's just when you think about the character, what is it like as a person? There's something that really makes you stand out. So for this character, what would that be? Because at this point, it's all pretty,
and
regular pony, regular life.
And that could be something that they add in later. I mean, obviously this character's backstory is a work in progress, so things that we discussed today could be taken into different accounts, where to change, where to add, things like that. As for how the pony looks, it's a little dark.
Luna. Sorry, I had something.
It's a bit Luna color scheme, and
A bit Luna. Look at that gala dress.
It's pretty damn Luna. I think this is just a nice character. It's a very safe, easy, character. It doesn't do amazing things, but it definitely isn't like a terrible thing.
Okay, so let's talk about what we could do to improve it.
Oh, yeah.
So, starting with the design, the coat color is a bit dark. So, like, on my monitor, I can't... It's really hard to see the outline. It's just dark.
I agree
and then
completely.
The tail design is basically Rainbow Dash's tail. The mane has some uniqueness to it. So, I mean, for me, it's really important to see a character that has something different about their mane or tail, especially because there's so many people that just copy what the main characters have. And then for the cutie mark, Midnight Sketch, the name you could have a pencil with sort of like darkness coming out of it. There's so much you could do with that besides this moon and star, which is Luna.
It is pretty Luna.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the Rainbow Power and the Bat Pony and the Wet Mane Galadress Crystal thing that you find in a lot of different character sheets like this? Do you feel like...
I like seeing it. The only one... Bat Pony I don't really care about. Wet Mane. It's a nice little addition that you consider the different forms.
Yeah,
I like the hair on the crystal form.
Ooh,
It's
the hair does look
very unique. Yeah.
I agree. It's really nice. And poofy.
I think her mane is a decent color, if very Gen 1 or Season 1 Luna, not Gen 1 Luna. Oh god.
Is there a Gen 1 Luna? I don't even know.
I doubt it.
But very Season 1 Luna-ish. But which is okay to have similarities, but you take the cake completely when you just give her like Season 2 Luna coat color, and it's just like all I can think is Luna.
It's Luna.
It's
the other
almost
thing I'm
like
noticing
this
now
character is to try to be a homage, but also a different character. Like
Yeah.
I'm seeing now that the feathers on the wings are actually black, but the coat's so dark that I can't tell that trait. So I have to stand up to see it on my monitor. But
a couple of little adjustments that could be made to make this from a okay or just regular character into possibly a really great character, or maybe a not so great character. But test the ways you can possibly do it, mix it up a little bit, try new things, and it could possibly become a character that everyone will be like, yeah, or everyone will be like, no. But in the meantime, we are going to say bye to this character and move on to the next one. It rolls a 1 again. Why does it do that? And 1 again, and a 3. So we are going to be looking at Medi Bobo.
Okie dokie. Moving on, this is Spooks by Silverboy27. She is adorable. But she is also a adult pony, or the age you would assume adults are. A little bit shorter than Twilight. I don't know if they're referring to normal Twilight, which I'm going to assume they are, because if they're referring to Alicorn Twilight, then you're just average pony height, because Alicorn Twilight's just a teeny bit taller. She is born in Ponyville. She is an Earth Pony. Her occupation is flower shop helper, but her special talent is telling ghost stories and writing really good ghost stories, and it's represented by her cutie mark, which is a book with a ghost coming out of it. I really like that cutie mark, actually.
Yeah.
Her personality is she's neutral, imaginative, lazy, reserved, melancholy, quiet, simple, and very paranoid. She was born in Ponyville, which, as it states earlier in her character sheet, and the way she got her cutie mark was she started getting really into ghost stories, and so she told a ghost story to the people of Ponyville, and it was so spooky, it spooked them for an entire week. They couldn't sleep well for a week, and that's when she realized that she's just really good at telling ghost stories, and but with your great ghost story mind comes some fatal flaws. She is really, really paranoid to the point she sometimes rambles about spooky things, and on one note actually scarred a little filly by telling him a much too graphic story than he should have heard. And it can lead to her just rambling on about ghost stories. It's also led to her very large lack of sleep, as you can tell by her big bags under her eyes. She's adorable.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to laugh because I can just picture this character telling the story, telling a ghost story, but like with those big eyes and the shuddering pupils. Like, the character would almost be as spooky as the story itself.
Her eyes blinks one after the other.
She does. She looks. The art fits the description really well. Like that messy hair.
But for simple design-wise, I really like your cutie mark. It's a very simple idea, and it fits her special talent. But it doesn't actually... And I like how she has a talent, but it doesn't have to be her job. That's one thing that I like is when you actually give your character a talent, and it can become their job, but it's not their main... It's their main thing in life that they're good at, but it's not the main thing they might drive for. Like, there's nothing in here about her wanting to be like... I really want to leave flowering behind and become a professional writer. Now, she's happy doing her little flower job and then telling spooky stories on the side.
I like her cutie mark.
I do too.
I think it's a nice contrast in colors in comparison to the rest of her body, but it's still, since the book is kind of this deep plum, I almost want to say, and her eyes are still kind of pinkish purple. It kind of goes together, matching colors and whatnot.
I find it kind of odd that you'd... Like, in a reference thing, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to see all of the eyes and stuff, but most people aren't going to be seeing those parts of her eyes because her bangs are in the way, so why even show them? Because it's almost like lying about the character.
I think it's more artistic style here than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so I'm trying to picture it as it would be in a show style design. So I'm curious about why the ghost is green instead of maybe white or something that, I guess, it sort of stands out to me. The green and the red.
Well,
I don't know if I'm such a fan of the coloring of that.
Well, I've seen a lot of images where ghosts are green instead of white.
Oh, yeah.
It's typical ghoulish. Ghoul colors are usually like browns, grays, greens, and whites and things like that.
And I think it still fits within the theory of the three-color cutie mark, because it's green, red, and purple. Sure, they're not colors that normally go well. I mean, like red and green go together as opposites, which is good. But the purple is a little odd. But I still really like it.
Actually, purple and green together, which are the main colors, by the way, are usually very good representatives of an evil, somewhat kind of feel.
That is true.
I like purple and green.
Purple and
Are
green
you evil?
is really good.
That actually explains a lot. That explains a lot.
A lot.
I also like the added detail of the little ghosts behind her, just... Ooh.
I really like the design of her mane and tail, or maybe the lack of design sort of thing. It's just such a mess.
I love it too. I would love to see it animated like the tail, because it would drag on the ground. It would just be great, wouldn't it?
Yes. There's absolutely no way she can wake up with the same hairstyle more than once ever in her life.
But
it's
like
just so good looking.
She does care enough about her appearance subtly to put her hair up in a bun a little
Yes.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Just to show that she still cares.
Well, otherwise she would look pretty like haggish.
Yeah.
If she had it down and there was that red scrunchie.
No, she has to keep the hair out of her eyes. Yeah, that's what that's for.
That's it. That's what that's for.
Normally, it's her entire face is covered. It's actually pulling back quite a lot.
Oh
God. That would be so bad.
And it's funny that she can have this kind of like this creepy demeanor, yet still just be like she has like because the artist's style is just really, really cute. So she just has this really cute, creepy mix.
It is. It's cute and creepy. You could see it if anyone listening watches anime. You could see it being like that kind of cute, creepy character working at the flower shop who's always like behind the flowers, with this sort of ghostly look.
Will Senpai notice me today?
Awkward staring, that sort of thing.
Anyone have anything else to say about how adorable Spook is? Spooks.
She's really adorable. Dang it! You trapped me!
I also really like the freckles. The freckles are a nice touch.
Oh yeah, definitely is.
I love her color palette. Gray and gray and gray and gray. Gray, and then there's purple and green.
It works out, though.
And some orange. And a little red.
Where's the orange?
The orange in the eyes of the ghost.
Oh, I thought that was red. Blood orange. Thank you very much, Medi Bobo, for bringing on that lovely, lovely pony. Moving on to Smooth's good OC this week, since he is last to go this week. Tell us all about this incredibly cute pony.
This is Sequin. Sequin was born in Manhattan to a very well-to-do family. She was the youngest daughter of... I don't think it said exactly how many siblings she had, but she had some older siblings, and her parents weren't usually there because they were off being ho ho ho, we were rich and stuff, but she wasn't like especially like sad about it or anything. It was just kind of like, it's kind of like how life is. So she mainly grew up, I guess, in that house in Manhattan, and sometimes her parents would take her out to their yacht because, you know, you're rich, you have to own a yacht. And she was just kind of like, oh my goodness, what is this? What is this? It's like the sea and the ocean and stuff. This is cool. So then she convinced her father to get her private boating lessons, and after quite a long time of doing those and getting better at boating, she was finally able to go boating out on her own, which is then when she realized, this is like the coolest thing ever. This is like the tightest jam ever of all time. Except the fact that she's, you know, affluent family would not use those words because rich and proper and stuff.
Good show, Father! This sailing device is quite well off. Yes, quite, yes. Oh,
See, my
Father!
private yacht has its own private yacht that we're going on its private yacht about.
Exactly. And that's when she actually got her cutie mark, which is her friggin' love of sailing and calling of the sea. Though she is from those proper households and does things properly, as per the rich ones do, she also has gotten a lot of sailor-isms to her. Probably not swearing like one, because that would just be incredibly odd. But,
AU, she swears all the time.
But she loves all forms of boating, pretty much. Mainly sailing. I wonder if I like her or not.
Well, the name like Smooth Sail, you hate her, obviously. Trying to steal your gimmick.
Definitely. She likes nautical and sailor-ish fashion and decor. She likes swimming, also, which is good. Being able to swim, if you're a sailor, that's a good thing. That's a good thing! She was also really spoiled because, once again, for like the third or fifth time, rich, well-to-do family, and a lot of money and stuff. So, with her friends, if something's happening, like, man, this thing's happening, I really wish I could go to this, she'd just be like, oh, don't worry, we can pay for that easily. And just be like, I feel like I'm taking advantage of the fact that you're rich, but, oh, okay. She's incredibly generous, is the thing I'm trying to say without saying it very well. Sequin herself is, like, in her house and stuff, she's a slob. She just doesn't really care about keeping clean, so she kind of just has a maid to do it for her, because she's just, it's just land. She doesn't like to clean, is the point. But when it's, like, her boat, that thing's clean. Spick and span, friggin' that thing's clean. And also, by the way, real quick, title card said her name was Sequin, Seaquin. She just started spelling her name like that. Her name is actually Sequin without the A. You know, the actual thing that exists.
Well, she's
It's
so
not a
rich,
pun.
She just bought another letter.
Yeah. And I guess that's all about personality backstory that I can think of and find because I've gotten so hopelessly lost because I'm not good at sailing.
Wait. You're not good at
He
sailing.
sails
No.
through the air, Mummified. Jeez, he's not good with the water. He's not as good in the water as Skipper the Sea Otter.
River otter, not sea otter. Come on, get your shit together, man.
So 3 votes for Skipper.
Yep,
3 votes for Skipper.
it's done. We got
Skipper is the best OC at the sea.
it. Yep. He's so happy.
What do you guys have to say about personality backstory?
I love it. I like the idea that she comes from an opulent family, but isn't a fucking bitch.
That's the word.
Yes,
That's the
it
word
is.
I could have used so many times to not be so redundant. Thank you.
There's so many times where like rich or well-off ponies are portrayed as like not good,
Like Diamond Tiara.
like Diamond Tiara or Silver Spoon, but in some cases filthy rich and crap like that, or
Yeah.
I mean,
Jet Set and Upper Crust.
I don't think Filthy Rich is actually portrayed as bad. Everyone's
Yeah,
just kind of
Filthy
like a
Rich is
douche to
just-
him. He's not actually that bad of a guy.
Filthy
But
Rich
he
is
forced
just
his
not
daughter
a-
to be nice, so we gotta give him
He's
credit
just
for that.
not a scumbag.
He's a business scumbag.
But he's not a jerk.
No, he's not a jerk. Right. So, yes, like you said, that she's rich, but she's also generous. Which kind of makes me think of Rarity, which is like her hair. Drawing Rarity's hair is the absolute worst thing you will ever
Oh my
do in your
god,
entire life.
it is
Well, at least this one
impossible.
doesn't have gradients.
It's true. This one actually would
Oh,
be easier to
thank
animate
goodness.
than Rarity's.
Yes, the backstory is good. I like it. I like the idea that she really doesn't give 2 sails of a ship about.
I wonder
Yeah, go ahead.
what she's gonna do when she runs out of her parents' money. She's just gonna. I guess
Sell the
maybe
yacht.
she'll just have it forever.
She's just gotta sail. You gotta put all your feelings behind you. Just sail.
You
Just
don't
you
have
gotta
to pay
sail.
taxes on the open sea.
Yeah.
So, also, she's incredibly freaking cute. Oh my goodness, the design. Oh my goodness, the design of her mane and tail. Oh my goodness, her color palette. Oh my goodness, that eyeshadow.
The eyeshadow is excellent.
And those
Pink.
eyes.
It works really well.
Freaking those ribbons.
That otter?
And the otter.
Really, really like her.
I don't want to be that guy. I
Okay, so do it. Do it. Do
I,
it.
I like the cutie mark, but
Not the rope.
is
The rope is a little much.
It is. I feel the same way. It's too many little.
Looks
Yeah.
like candy
It's-
canes at a small distance.
It's got too many little tiny pieces
Yeah.
for what it is.
Well, I agree that the rope could be possibly like adjusted or something made better, but to have just the anchor would be a little cliche.
No, that'd be too plain.
Yeah, it'd be way too plain. Just maybe I don't know, like just a single red line or something. I don't know. You gotta do something for it, but what possibly could be the change, I have no idea.
I think the anchor by itself, or like maybe not a rope heart, but just like a regular heart, maybe.
That's my thought, but
Or maybe something
a possibility.
indication of fancy. No, wait. No. I
Well,
don't know.
it's already
Maybe- I
indicating
don't-
that sailing is her fancy.
so
Oh!
I like the single eyelash.
Yeah,
it's Maud. Doesn't Maud
Yeah.
have that?
Yeah, it's
same
Maud.
style of eye?
It
Yeah.
was
Oh.
introduced with her. No, I don't think it was introduced with her, actually.
wasn't it Coco that had a single?
Sapphire Shores, maybe. I
Yeah,
know
I
I've
think
seen it a couple
Sapphire Shores
times.
had it way earlier. Overall, this pony is really freaking cute. Oh my goodness. Also, nautical stuff. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Just freaking... I like characters like this. I don't know how to describe exactly. His personality, color palettes, likes and dislikes, and freaking...